Walking Dead comic versus the TV show. On this episode, we're talking about comic book Laurie versus the TV show Laurie. Alright, let it be known that I hate this bitch in the comic and the TV show. A little less in the comic, but that bitch still got on my nerves. So we're gonna break this bitch's character down in the TV show and the comic, and we're gonna see which one was better. Now obviously this is just Jigsaw's opinion. Now one of Laurie's most important roles in this story is that she's fucking the shit out of Shane. And they probably got her pregnant. It's never really officially revealed on who that daddy is. Now in the comic it appears that Laurie and Shane, they only got it on once. Only one time. Now that's some luck right there. But in the TV show they fucking like rabbits out in them woods. At one point they're about to get it on. She actually looks down. She sees a little necklace. She's got a little locket and a wedding ring. She says, "Oh, hold on, let me take that off. Let me put it down." Now do you think that locket and ring stopped this bitch's hankering for that dick? Not even close. Now in the TV show, this whole thing is dove into and it's explored a little bit deeper than in the comic. I think it's mainly because Shane is kept alive way longer in the TV show, which I approve of that, by the way. I'm gonna give a good old, big old win to the TV show in that aspect. It makes you hate that bitch so much more, cause she been wanting that dick so bad. And I mean honestly, Rick hasn't been gone that long. It hasn't been that long if you think about it. She gets down, she's like, "Oh, he's gone, okay. Oh, I'm devastated, put it in my ass." So this chick gets knocked up during the zombie apocalypse. Really, bitch? So let's see how she handles this pregnancy in the comic versus the TV show. So in the comic, everybody pretty much is happy about the news. They're kind of like, "Oh, this is kind of good," even though it's a zombie fucking apocalypse. She finds out that Dale knows, or he's probably in that RV, watching him getting it on in the woods, fucking whacking that shit. She finds out Dale knows that Shane might be the daddy to this baby. And though he ain't too mad, he tells her, "Don't you dare. Don't you tell Rick. He's gonna go fucking crazy. He gonna crack. Motherfucker, I will crack too. I will crack a goddamn steel pipe against that bitch's fucking forehead." Boom! So later on in the comic, she has the baby. No problems, no complications. She gets that shit out, and she just kind of looks after it after a while. Now we're gonna look at it from the TV show. It is filled with so much more drama and so much more horse shit. Now though it's not made official, Daryl pretty much knows that Shane is the daddy, because he makes a great point. He says, he's talking to Carol, he's like, "Listen, you know that's gotta be Shane's, because Laura's too far along with this pregnancy. You know it ain't Rick's." That's a damn good point. That pretty much makes it unofficial. In the TV show, Laurie is pretty much the worst preggo in history. She slows everybody down. She pisses everybody off. And she is almost completely useless the rest of the time on this damn show. Now I'm gonna have to give a lot of credit to the actress who played Laurie in the TV show, because she really made me want to punch her in the face. I'm not really sure if that's a good thing or not. So in the TV show, let's just say Laurie's birth is not as smooth as it is in the comic. Maggie's the one that has to deliver this Judith, not Herschel and Alice. Alice is a doctor from Woodbury from the comics, not in the TV show. So Laurie's about to give birth in the prison, right? And Maggie takes a knife and she's like, "Alright, I got this." And she carves that bitch up like a goddamn jack-o'-lantern. And she performs the worst C-section in prison history. And Laurie dies. So as to which handled the pregnancy better, I have to give it to the comic, not gonna lie. Though it was nice to see everybody turn on Laurie and hate that bitch, I think her surviving and giving birth and living actually made her character be a little more played out, a little more interesting, just a little bit in the comic than it was on the TV show. Alright, so we're gonna talk about her demise. So in the TV show, Maggie cuts Laurie's ass up like some origami, trying to get Judith out, right? Laurie is obviously about to bleed out and die. So Carl comes up with his little gun, little pea shooter, puts it to his mama's head, blows her fucking brains out. It was a very brutal death scene, and I'm not gonna lie, the whole thing was played out very well. This was my favorite scene with Laurie in it from the TV show. What does that tell you? Now in the comic, Laurie survives the birth, and she survives all the way until the governor comes in with the Woodbury people, and they invade the prison and overrunning that shit. There's a character called Lily. She's in the group and she comes in. She's actually the one that guns Laurie down. Laurie's running away with Judith in slow motion. She's like, "Oh God." She was running in slow motion in my mind anyway. So Lily comes in, boom, blows her damn stomach out. Laurie's stomach just explodes. So Laurie, being the phenomenal mother she is, she's holding the baby, and she takes a dive on the ground, falling on top of Judith, popping that bitch's head, pop, just like a little water balloon. And all you see is little baby Judith's arm sticking out from underneath her mama. Now that is some epic shit right there. Now that is a death. That is an epic death. One of the best in the series. I loved it. It gave you everything. It was devastating. It was emotional. It was strong. And that is how you kill off a major character. I get technically two, I guess. Now that was great, and that is an obvious win for the comic. Though this little slut puppy is dead, she still haunts us with her fucking presence. And y'all know what I'm talking about. The good old strong Rick. He gets some phone calls. And guess whose fucking voice it is? It's Laurie's. Come on, Rick, you better than that. So in the comic, Rick gets some phone calls from Laurie, obviously, but he also has some nightmares where Laurie's a zombie, and she's coming in and she just starts going down, eating them. And I don't mean in a fucking good way either. That motherfucker just lets it happen. Good job, bitch. You're ruining one of the strongest characters in the story. Kudos. Now the comic, this whole little after death thing is not as extreme as it is in the fucking TV show. Now I don't recall Rick having any fucking nightmares about Laurie, but he sure as fuck sees that bitch while he's awake. One of the scenes I hated more than any in the entire fucking series is when Tyrese's group shows up to the prison. Rick's trying to decide whether or not they can stay in the prison or they gotta go. And who do you think fucks this scene up? Not Tyrese, believe it or not. Ghostface Laurie shows up in the balcony, and Rick sees her and he starts screaming for her to leave and starts breaking the fuck down and freaking everybody out and showing how really fucking crazy he is. They hated each other for so long, and now that she's dead, she is still fucking driving him nuts. Laurie just kept showing up and turning Rick into a fucking psycho the rest of the whole third season of the show. I really didn't like Rick's reaction to the whole thing. It didn't like fit everything right. It didn't seem good. It didn't seem right. I think the comic held it so much better. So I'm giving the comic another win here. The after death is definitely going to the comic. So in the end, Laurie's character was a major bitch, and we all loved to hate her. Some of you probably cheered when she died, didn't you? I know you did. But then you got pissed right back off when she came back with the phone calls and the visions and shit. Though everybody hated her, her character was strong. She was a good element for the TV show and the comic. I think the TV show dove into her character a little more than they did in the comic. But the comic, I think overall, handled the Laurie character a little better. So I have to give the victory, when it comes to the character Laurie, to the comic. So congrats, Laurie. You pissed me off on both the comic and the TV show. But at least in the comic, you took Judith's bitch ass out with you. Smooth.